Okay, well, hello everyone. We're going to do this live Q&A. This is super organized. We are so ready for this. And yeah, thank you for those who sent your questions in advance. It gives us a little something to start with, but also feel free to drop questions in chat as this goes on, and we're going to be picking them up.
I'm watching you in the past. I'm watching the stream, so I see everything in the past.
Oh my god, this is
It's
a
perfect.
bunch of kids amazed
Okay,
at technology.
I'm putting a first question in. What are your
Question, we'll
personal
go here.
What are your personal favorite levels to play and why? Favorite Ultimate Chicken Horse levels, I assume, not levels from other games.
Levels from any game.
Anyone want to start?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the inside the computer level, the mainframe. Inside the computer, I guess is what it used to be called. Mainframe level, just because the music is so freaking good. It's definitely my. Actually, no, wait, we have new levels. The new levels have even better music. Damn. Yeah, maybe I might have to switch to ballroom for the music. I think that might be it.
Ballroom music? Wow.
Yeah.
Ballroom music is really good.
But that's not...
So good.
The question was to play.
Your favorite.
So
your
I guess...
favorite one to play.
I like all of them equally.
Do you like the
but I also
ballroom
care about the music.
different start points the best?
No, not particularly. I mean, I think it's cool, but I don't think it makes it my favorite one. I think the for the music is the reason that I'm making the answer. They're all pretty good, except for ones that are like frustrating, like the dance party one.
Some hate for dance parties coming from a dev. That's always good.
Which I do like. I do like it. I just everybody around me is always so pissed off that I.
That is why I love that level. So I think that was going to be my answer. I love playing dance party because it makes everyone mad, and even if it makes me like I'm really not good at that level, but it's worth having everyone be really mad at it. And I always have a thought for Kyler, whose idea this level was. Thank you for that.
No, well, Dance Party was, I think, a Kickstarter reward.
Yes.
But I did come up with the moving light things and the darkness and all that. So yes, my fault.
So everything that makes dance party.
Yes. And I didn't even do the art on that. That was Louis did that. Fabio, what's your favorite level?
My favorite level is like it's very difficult to. There's a lot of levels that I like, but I think that there's one that I like the more than the others. That is Waterfall, because the first level in Waterfall you have to cooperate. There's no way to finish that level without cooperation. And right from the start, you can see who's nice there and who's like a bad person. So this guy's a bad person. He don't want to help. Right? So yeah. Waterfall.
Waterfall. Good choice.
Yeah.
Alex, what's your favorite?
I don't know. They all kind of suck.
Wow.
Alex, language.
I think what he means to say is they're all so amazing that it's impossible to choose.
I think I would just put down Rooftops because it's the one where the devs get the least in the way of building stuff.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to ask for an actual answer from Alex.
No, I do like Rooftops because it's just a big open space. It's all freedom. I feel like Rooftops is our final destination.
Yeah. But it's twice as good because it has 2 platforms.
This is true.
That must be how that works.
And that was a Bleepy Balls question from Reddit. Do we have any questions in chat?
Yes, I've been grabbing questions from chat, putting them above the table.
Oh, okay. I'll put this next one in. Whoops. Afpuff asks,
Thank think that's how it's supposed to be said.
Will the other backgrounds be added to the editor? The backgrounds in the blank level, some of them match things in levels, and some are just kind of made up. I hadn't planned to add any more soon, so probably not. Someday, if we do more updates. Aspie underscore asks, will we ever get Clever Endeavour calendars? Someone else answer.
I don't know. That wasn't really planned, but I could see it as, I don't know, if we, for a next game or project or whatever, if we have a Kickstarter, I think that calendars is a good
Yeah.
backer reward.
What would each month be for an Ultimate Chicken Horse calendar?
We have to make
I mean-
a drawing for every single day of the year.
Oh, you want a daily calendar?
Yeah,
Wow.
daily calendar.
That's
365 pages.
Okay.
That's good because you're the one who's going to be illustrating it, Fabio.
I would have said one per month, and you just have a character in like their like home place, in the same way like Smash Bros. Each of them has their like their home level. You do something like that.
Yeah.
Do we have home levels for the characters? We don't, right?
No.
No, we don't.
Not too lazy asks, any plans for adding more game modes? Maybe some borrowed from community and made official. Not currently.
Well, I'm gonna guess that the community modes referred to includes, I think there's Coin Hunter that people have been doing, which yeah, so it's basically the levels are usually designed, they're very large, and the start and the goal are not very far from each other, but the point is to kind of go out and try to get as many coins as possible. And I think that people have been playing with, I'm not sure actually if it's part of that mode, but I know that people have been playing sometimes with like official placement people. So someone is in the game, but they're not running the stage. They're just there to place things for others
Okay.
according to a specific set of rules. And oh yeah, people have also been making B versus player levels where everyone is forced to go through a hive at the start.
Okay.
And then basically the rule is you can't go to the goal until you have killed everyone else with the bees that are following you. Which is, you know, it's really great and creative. And I don't think so. They're the kinds of things that are not, it's not just presets, because there's kind of house rules that are
Yeah.
established, you know, by people. So yeah, I don't know. I think that I would definitely want to have better ways of sharing presets to start with, because
That would be
right
good.
now there's none.
Yes.
As for making something like Coin Hunter or B versus Player, there's definitely more complicated, more invested. But I don't know if anyone has thoughts on that kind of stuff, or what game modes we would be able to implement.
I think like what we could implement with our current system, we couldn't do things that are that complicated, but being able to share stuff would be a very cool feature for the game modes instead of having to save them and just share all the details with other players indirectly. This is not going in the game anytime soon, but I'll just describe a dream mode I had, which is, could you do a battle royale or like 100 players in one Ultimate Chicken Horse level?
100 players when? I vote for 100 players. Yes, let's do this.
Our servers won't like it, and our engine won't like it,
Oh god.
but someday.
But it would be very cool to have like people randomly chosen to place, and then if you it's just survival mode, and whoever makes it to the end continues to the next round. Whoever makes it to the end of the next round continues to the next round,
Yeah.
etc.
Okay.
I mean, that is the kind of thing that is definitely a new game.
Yes, it would take a whole
it's
new
not-
architecture.
Someone said, "Let's not copy Fortnite."
UCH 99.
I'd like to copy Fortnite's money. Can we have that?
What?
That is a brilliant business idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Kron Travis asks, what animals do the devs play as?
Hard question.
It changes.
It varies so much. It changes all the time. Yeah.
I would say
Okay, people on the dev team should say which characters they think the other people play on the dev team.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, well,
um,
Eve is
Eve is
squirrel
or sheep. Depends on the day.
or sheep.
oh yeah, you're actually wrong, Rich. I haven't been playing squirrel that much. I have been choosing sheep a lot more because the voice acting is really good. But since playtesting for Acrobatic, I've been using snake a lot, just because I wanted to use it to see that everything was fine,
See
and
all
now
the
I do
bugs.
it as a reflex. So I guess I'm playing as snake nowadays.
Okay.
I know that Richard plays as squirrel. That's a fact.
Yes.
That's one of my
It used to
two.
be raccoon before
Nah, but then he
squirrel exists.
on his mind he thinks that squirrel have got an advantage because he's faster, he's smaller. But they are
So
all the same.
I have two mains. That is one. What's the other one?
Yeah, I only know
It's
squirrel.
pretty much the only other one I play as. It used to be raccoon, but it's been a while since I've played as raccoon. Nobody knows.
I know squirrel. You play as squirrel.
The reason I choose it is because I feel like it has the closest profile to the hitboxes. So when playing challenge levels, I feel like it's easy for me to figure out where I'm.
Is it
I mean,
chicken?
chicken pretty square.
It's not chicken, but chicken is probably a better match profile-wise. But this one is like the next in my mind.
What
I
is
mean,
it? I
It's
can't.
Yeah,
chameleon.
Ah,
Chameleon is not the closest
guess-
to the hitbox.
Well, if you ignore the tail, so the tail's like,
And if you ignore the head like that,
If you ignore all the parts that don't match it perfectly.
I always feel like I know what I'm gonna run into or not run into with chameleon. So that's fine. I think Kyler is chicken
it's often
Tyler
chicken
plays elephant.
or
Elephant's a
elephant.
or
lot.
elephant.
It makes me
Yes.
mad every single time.
Stand in front of
Yeah, me
everyone.
when you play elephant locally, because it's just the order of the animals that were
he's in
added
front
to
of
the game.
everyone. Yeah.
Yes, elephant is in front of most of the characters, and elephant is so big.
Never gonna
that it can
change
obscure other characters entirely. I have lost myself behind elephant thanks to Kyler quite a
Yes.
few times.
That is so funny. Oh, I do have to add Red Panda as a
As a main.
because it's just so freaking cute.
I imagine, Alex, do you normally play horse with a top hat
Yeah.
or something?
Yes.
Is
I do
Alex
like
is
horse
hard.
without that.
Yeah.
that classic?
I think Fabio is about equally monkey and chameleon,
Yeah.
right?
I change all the time.
Who's the main?
It's difficult for right now. My main is snake. I choose snake all the time, but before snake, I was varying constantly. Yeah, like there are characters that I never choose. Like I never choose squirrel. I don't know why. I think his movement is so crazy, so fast that I never choose squirrel.
It might be the least correlated with the hitbox, the squirrel.
I do like that the hitbox when Squirrel is running, the hitbox is the tail and not the actual body of Squirrel. I think that's very cute.
Okay, I have a question for Fabio.
What?
Are you aware of the monkey's cursed grin? That the monkey's cursed grin exists? The animation of the monkey looking up.
I don't know about that.
Is it cursed? what makes
You
it
drew
cursed.
it.
I didn't draw any curse.
That's from Not Too Lazy Again. So Fabio is
Yeah.
not aware of a cursed
Yeah.
grain, even though he drew it.
The monkey is
I
cursed
didn't-
in general.
Yeah, monkey is a little cursed.
I think the monkey t-shirts are possibly the nicest ones.
Oh
Even though I
God,
don't
do
have
you
one.
have
But
Kyler? Do you
I
think
did.
you would be able? Do you think you would be able to find? It might be difficult. I'm going to be looking, but the first iteration of what was it? The first one of the iterations of Robot Monkey. The face looked like an electrical outlet. It
Oh,
looked empty,
Oh,
like it could
yeah.
plug the tail into it. And I hated it so much.
Oh
It
yeah.
was so bad.
Monkey could put his tail inside his face.
It was
Robot monkey.
terrifying.
Yeah.
well,
that was cursed.
I will give it 10 seconds of searching.
I'm gonna try to search. Oh,
Do we want
God,
to go
what
on
is
to
that?
the next thing?
Someone
as
fill
we're-
time.
Oh, the next thing.
It's not in the drive. At least I couldn't find
Okay,
it.
it's probably in a TV Paint file. Let's
I
see.
try to find it. Maybe I have it here.
The next question is, how did we come up with the bunny design? Why is the bunny a robot? Question brought to you by
So,
Bubbly Cuddles.
so I could answer that. The bunny was a Kickstarter reward. So people who backed the Kickstarter at a certain level were able to choose character designs, and someone had chosen a bunny, and I think our initial response was, that's kind of boring. Can it be something more interesting? And then they said it should be a robot bunny. And they wanted it to look like Terminator and have one eye, like the eyes that were red. And our initial design actually had that Terminator bunny eye thing. And
Yeah, I think
then
it was a cyborg bunny at first.
Exactly. And then we switched it because we realized that you're looking at the bunny from one side. So you see one eye, you see the red eye, and then when it turns, you see the other eye. But if the other eye, like the way our characters work, we just flip them. So then the other eye would also appear red. And that means that the bunny just has these evil, creepy red eyes. And we decided that was too creepy. I don't know, Kyler, if you had something to add to that.
It was Alex's sister who was that Kickstarter reward person.
Which is probably why we were able to say that we thought the idea was boring.
Oh yeah, no,
don't
I'll
think we
tell her
would've
she's
said that
dumb
to-
to her face, and I'll do it every day. There's always a good reason.
I don't think we would have said that to someone who was just a fan who had backed the Kickstarter.
Okay, how long does it take to fully create a new animal from brainstorming to release? Asks Malist 1986. How long does it take?
Plenty of time.
I'd say it takes us like a week once we decide we need to pick an animal to like pick which one it is. And then it probably takes 2 weeks to like come up with a design we like for the animal. And then probably like at least 2 weeks to animate it. At least. And then not a week per outfit, like 2 or 3 days per outfit.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then,
depending on the outfit, we had
Yeah.
a couple that were more complicated and took longer.
do those numbers sound right, Fabio?
They sound right. But it's like Alex said, like sometimes some outfits or some characters they took longer.
Yeah. Like sheep
And others
was so fast.
sheep was very, very fast. To make the ham, I only changed the color and put the horns.
Yeah.
That was very simple.
Which was your hardest character, Fabio?
Rio Bunny.
Real Bunny? Okay.
Damn, that chair,
Yes,
that
I
wheelchair, man. Yeah, I remember when I created the design of the character, I was super hyped. I said, yes, I want to animate that. as soon as I started animating, I was, oh my God, what have I done? What did I create to myself? A lot of trouble. But yeah, that was the one that took me longer to finish.
For the record, Kyler, I put the cursed monkey in our Discord. I don't know if you have a way to show it on the screen.
I will find a way. Let me get
but
another question going, and then
you don't have the image where he put his tail on his face?
I don't think you ever made that. I think it was just
I did.
the image we all got.
I drew that.
Oh, I wouldn't know where to find it then.
okay, here's a question Alex can answer. It's from Frozen Cat 47. It's gonna be Alex. It's on our thing, I think. It's on the
So you
screen.
should read it out
You
for.
could also read it
Is there
aloud.
any way to use a keyboard if you're playing on a Switch?
No.
Damn it, that didn't.
Next question.
Can you just
Okay, Rich
explain
can
it?
answer this one. Here's one.
Cool.
Okay, I guess no
What is the
explaining.
question?
Someone can read it. I'm gonna try and figure out how to get this picture on the stream.
But Twitch is delayed, so it takes me like 30 seconds to see it.
Physical version of the game. Will it ever happen?
It is planned to happen. We are speaking to someone who is going to help make it happen. And obviously, with the pandemic stuff, everything is slowed down, and we're still in talks. But I imagine all of their stuff is backed up. So there are talks about doing a Switch version, a Switch physical version, and that's about as much as we know so far. So when to expect it, what's going to be in it, how much it's going to cost, all that stuff is still unknown and up for debate. But yeah, hopefully it'll work out. There's always a chance. It's happened to us before where we follow a path trying to make something and then it just doesn't end up working out. So there's a possibility that happens, but hopefully that will happen. And yeah, I mean, we'll keep you up to date as soon as we know anything, really.
I guess this is a good time as any. Oh, and someone is saying in chat, I hope it's not limited time. The plan is not to make something. Basically, we want it to have as few limitations as possible. So we're not doing like you have to buy within a certain time frame. We don't want to create artificial like rarity. We want to make as many as possible to distribute to as many people as possible.
So the way it'll work is that people who make it basically decide how much they think they could sell through all the different stores where they would sell them, and hopefully these are like big box stores and also on their website, and they make that determination, and then they print the copies, they try and sell the copies, and if they sell out quickly, then obviously it makes sense for them to make more. So because they'll make more money off them, so they do. But they go in like chunks. So they'll do probably a smaller run first, see if it sells well, then maybe another run later, and yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Hey, SP_ wants to know how are we coping with the isolation? If there's anyone going to the office.
There is not anyone going to the office.
Nope.
We are clearly doing video chat for our meetings. So we have a daily meeting that we do every morning, and that's been going through video chat. And yeah, I mean, I guess everyone is coping differently with this stuff. But as far as our work is concerned, we've been doing it remote, and yeah, nobody's expected to go in or anything.
Oh, we can't. The building's closed.
Yeah.
They won't let us in without a good reason.
As of last week, 2 weeks ago.
Something like that.
Now we're all in different rooms. I'm in the luxury basement area with the weird red doors.
They're cool red doors.
Yeah.
You have to put numbers on the doors. Door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3.
Which door do you want me to open? Twitch.
Number 3. Door number 3. Number
Twitch
3.
has to tell me.
Yeah,
Twitch voting.
we've all been from working from home. So in our province in Quebec, non-essential businesses have been instructed to work remotely for, what is it, 4 weeks now? 3? I don't even know. But I think we all started being at home a couple of weeks before it was mandatory. I don't know. It feels like it's been forever. It's been actually, it was the first. I know the first day I was at home was the 16th of March. It's been a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we've all been working from home. We set that up as soon as it was clear that social distancing was going to be necessary. And yeah, we've been, making it work.
Yep. Okay, door number 4 was the first one that got a vote.
4.
And
Oh, I
he,
know what's behind door number 4. Oh, that's not
that's a
4. I thought that was 1.
door.
Da, 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 da.
He just wanted to open a tiny door.
There's a sled.
What? Oh,
You went to login.
Actually, it was snowing today, or it is snowing where Fabio is apparently.
No,
It's-
it passed by. It just passed by me, and it's done now.
well,
So it's moving.
here right now it's super dark right now. And it's snowing like crazy.
Richard, it'll have been like at the tail end around you, and it might be reaching Kyler now.
So there's like one big cloud going over right now, dropping snow.
Basically.
Question from Bo. Oh, just before that, we'll just should. There's the monkey. The monkey is on the screen.
Yeah, you put it there. Like,
I put it there
ago.
a while ago.
I will search for the image where he's putting his own tail on his face. I will find it.
Yeah, I think it was back in Slack, and I can't look far back enough to find it.
Yeah.
That's
Sadly.
why we don't use Slack anymore.
Bojack U8 UCH asks, which dev is the best at the game and which is the worst? I don't know.
I am the worst.
I don't know, actually. I think we're all
Yeah.
good at
We
this
haven't
point.
had like a really good competition in it in a while. Like where we all
Because usually when we play, it's like, okay, well, you have to die like 6 times in a row on this block, and while you do that, I'm gonna like wall slide down this thing.
That's usually
while
how it
Alex
goes.
is editing something. So it doesn't.
It's
tend
been
to
a
be
while since we've played where any one of us was invested in victory.
Yeah.
But we should try at some point.
Sounds like a streaming opportunity.
I
Someone
think that
actually mentioned
I don't know. I think I've gotten better than I thought I ever would by testing levels for
Yes.
each round.
Yes, for sure.
But I still don't know that I compare.
Are you able to do many of the techs that, like the tech moves, the
I
special
don't
jumps
think so,
and
no.
things?
No, I think I'm still not able to do. I don't know what the community would call it, but that jump on a wall where you want to squeeze through a one wide
Okay, yeah.
crack. That's just I prefer to give up.
I can only do that one if I'm like not thinking about it. If I try too hard, it won't work.
I feel like I can do that one if people around me are patient enough to wait like 15 minutes.
Some people, I don't understand how people can do those things that they do. Like they play like magic. It's crazy. Like they jump, they do small jumps, fast jumps. They go through small places, and it's insane. They do huge jumps. They jump over L shapes. Like how can you do that? It's impossible. They are ninjas. I see on the Discord. Sometimes they put images of the place. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's impossible.
Malice1986 asks, was the Ferris wheel idea inspired by Reznor from Super Mario World, or is Gavin Free just crazy? What is a Reznor?
He's the little rhino that rides basically exactly that in a circle.
And who is Gavin Free?
I think Achievement Hunter, or
Yeah.
um,
I'm looking up what a resonator is.
I mean, it doesn't matter. The answer is no. But
it looks very similar, but
and you can probably infer that answer by the fact that none of these people knew who Reznor is.
But I feel like, do these blocks exist without a rhino on top of them, though? I feel like they do. No?
I
Yeah.
was more inspired just by like the standard platform on like a rotating thing, like the standard one you see in Super Mario, where it's just a bunch of balls connected to a platform that goes around.
I love how a lot of the block designs look like they could have been really inspired by the Incredible Machine, but Kyler had no idea until recently.
that game existed.
Yeah, I pulled up a gameplay video of the Incredible Machine for reference. I don't know. I don't remember if it was for the canon or whatever. And as we were looking at that video, Tyler kept noticing a bunch of blocks. I'm like, oh, that's very, oh wow.
They have the punching glove. They have, I don't remember which other ones they had, but they had a lot. They had like fans.
Yeah.
Here's a good simple question. What is your favorite block?
Simple, you say.
So many good blocks.
I have to think about that one.
My favorite block, if I want to kill people and if I want to be mean and just start killing a lot of people, is the spiky ball, the ball with spikes.
Yeah, the glass
It's
wrapped in duct tape.
Yes, exactly. That is so simple, but you can kill so many people with that thing. If you just place it on the right position, people
Yeah, I
just
mean,
die there.
actually, like extremely specific answer to that. My favorite block is the single barbed wire, like 5 spaces from the goal on rooftops, where everyone lands and can't make it to the goal. That is the perfect blocked place.
It was very specific.
Yes.
I think mine would probably just be glue in general, or honey, whatever you want to call it. Because we're not going to go into that debate, but that yellow stuff that sticks to stuff. Because it just like, from the first time that was in the game, it just so vastly changed all of the possibilities of what you could do with the gameplay. And it's amazing how you can change the entire level with, like, you can change the entire level in a huge way with just connecting one thing to glue, and then all of a sudden every path that people had made is just completely different. So I'm gonna go with that one.
When exactly was glue introduced? That was before my time.
Yeah, that would have been. Was that maybe in the time of?
It was during.
Sharing.
It was like
sharing.
during the Kickstarter almost.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a update video we did that was like, oh, we added glue.
So it was before release then.
And
it's kind of hard to remember. These things are like 130,000 years
and
ago.
if people want to know how confused even we are about if it's glue or honey, the code.
There's no confusion. There's no confusion.
The code. The code that runs the glue is called honey.cs, and then the prefab that you stick to things is called glue.
What's it called in the selection screen when you're selecting?
It's honey.
It's honey, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
You use it as a glue, but it's honey.
And in that Rooster Teeth video, they used honey. Did they? Yeah, they used honey in the Rooster Teeth video.
And I don't even.
Aren't they the ones who call it cheese?
I mean, the one where they where they had the kids come and do the whole obstacle course thing.
Oh, yes. Right.
But yeah, cheese is another name for that.
Jeez.
I don't like cheese because cheese wouldn't be, if it's that melted, it wouldn't be sticky. It would just be greasy and slippery. It kind of grosses me out.
It's like the kind of gross like cheese whiz stuff, I think. That
Yeah,
maybe
that's
just
not
like
sticky.
when you expose it to oxygen becomes plastic. I don't know.
Good old American cheese. Alex, what's your favorite block?
I like the tennis ball launcher. 'Cause I think there's a real art to just knowing that arc and putting it in just the right spot to thread the needle and land in
Yeah,
the
you
worst
can be-
possible place.
You can be really good at that. I feel like when we play between us, the phrase "who did that" is most often uttered after something you did. Usually the answer is Alex did that.
That really is the goal.
Yep. Well, it seems to be working.
I would vote for. I like the pressure trigger spikes. I find them extremely satisfying when you land on it and it opens up and the sound it makes. And then like you can put like 50 of them and just run on them and it's like bubble wrap almost. Or bubble. Yeah.
For the block itself, I think my favorite is the flower. I really like that design.
Such a jerk.
It really is.
What are people's favorite modifiers? I'm just making this question up.
Oh god. I know that my least favorite is the one that we canned. People may or may not know that there used to be a modifier for mirroring your controls in the controller. And we didn't keep that one because it sucked.
Technically, it's still in there and it's used. When you flip the
Yes.
screen, it also mirrors the controls. Because otherwise,
but I don't know. My favorite. I don't know. Collisions is really it's kind of janky sometimes online, but it's also it makes things so different.
Yeah.
I really, really like that one.
I'm a big fan of the tiny or super tiny or whatever with low gravity. So you're just like this tiny little pixel on the screen and you like fly across the world. It's a little insane, but I think that'd be mine.
I was going to say those also, the size changing.
Fabio.
I like Dead Hop.
Dead Hop is pretty great.
Yeah.
That's the funniest one.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Alex.
I like the meteors.
Oh yeah.
That's also good, yeah.
Constant impending doom.
I'm not that big a fan of meteors. I don't know why.
I like that they're slow enough that you can avoid them. Usually, so they're not like you don't get randomly killed and then you're like, oh, the game is just being stupid and like killed me out of nowhere. It's more like you at least see it coming, so you have that chance to avoid it. In almost every case, I think sometimes they can be really fast, but
Karen Travis in chat is saying that they like the meteors are tennis balls. I think didn't that kind of just happen? Because I know that Ben prototyped the meteors and he made meteors art, but it just looked like meatballs. And then I think he just took the flaming tennis ball and made it really big and used that instead when he was prototyping. And I think that's when we just went like, yeah, no, that works. That's what we want. And we actually
Yes, that is. I think that is the story.
Made higher res.
I don't remember seeing the meat version of it.
I don't think
it
he ever.
was.
No, he just wanted to call it that.
Oh, okay.
He liked the wordplay.
Yeah, no. It
okay,
wasn't,
I get it.
I don't think that the meteors were intended to look like meat, but that's very much what they did look like.
No, he wanted it to be meteors, and then he wanted the update to be called mozzarella. There's a whole
Oh,
food
God.
thing at one point.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
not on board with that.
I think we had to fight the cheese puns for a little while.
Yeah. I literally I found them too cheesy, and I hate that.
Nice.
What else?
Are
Other question?
plushies gonna happen? If so, I'm gonna buy so many, says Joey Spa 44.
There's currently no plan for plushies. We
What
tried
what is a plushie?
like stuffed animal.
Oh,
Like
okay,
teddy bear?
to sell. To sell.
Yeah.
Ah.
So there's currently no plan. There was a plan at some point, and we had them like prototype ones, and then the prototypes were never getting good enough, and then it eventually just kind of like fizzled out with the partner that we were working with, and that was probably like 2 years ago, maybe. But it was a really long process of like we'd send them feedback, and then 8 weeks later they'd have like a drawing, and then 12 weeks later they'd have one plushie made, and then we'd send feedback, and then 8 weeks later they'd have another one, and it was just not going anywhere. I agree it would be cool, but often they have such huge minimum orders too that it's like very expensive, and you also don't necessarily know if it's going to be good or not. So, yeah, it's hard. It's something I would like, but so far when we've looked into it, it's just the amount we'd have to order has been so much higher than what we think we could actually sell that we'd end up with each of us would have a room in our house entirely full of plushies.
Well, that's what we had with we had that with T-shirts for a long time. I think we still have a couple hidden in a room.
No,
had
I gave
With
those
every
away. Those
with
were
every
all
physical
given away.
thing- Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, every physical thing, it's like there's an upfront cost to making it, so there's huge risk. So we can't do any of them.
Gigayoshi asked, "You don't want rooms full of plushies?" I mean, I certainly do. I don't know if everybody else does.
I mean, if the company pays for it.
Physical things have always been the hardest type of business to do for us. Like the old days of us actually sending out the t-shirts every day. That wasn't a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was very frustrating, having to manually write the addresses because you couldn't print them out. You had to write it down. You'd print it out, and then you had to make another sticker that you would write down, and then walk to the post office to ship them. Yeah, not ideal.
Someone is saying, let's see, where's my window?
This is the moment where I introduce chat to Snow. Everybody meet Snow White.
Hi, Snow.
She doesn't look at the camera.
No.
She's not looking at the camera. But there she is.
I think she.
No.
Some
Come on, no.
Not Too Lazy is getting a lot of questions in. Wouldn't it be cool to make a board game based on UCH? Are you planning it?
We also have talked about it. It is not currently it's not currently a thing that is in production. It's a thing that is being talked about.
Yes, it's come up a few
But-
times in the past, and it'll probably keep getting brought up.
Yeah, I think if we did, it wouldn't be a thing that we design and make and produce and so on our own. It would be more likely that someone else would make it with our input, our creative input. But yeah, that is not a thing that we can promise right now.
We have a board game called Clever Endeavour, right?
Yeah, we didn't make that.
Yeah, that was some failed game from like 1986, and the saddest part is inside there's like a little leaflet and it says, if you want to submit your ideas for the next edition, and there wasn't one.
It was like Trivial Pursuit, but 3 times as hard and only. No, I don't remember if it was some subject specific, but I remember
It's more like there were like riddles,
really hard.
and there was like a series of clues to it, and you had to try and guess the answer with the fewest number of clues. It's very weird. Had little
But there's a game
cone.
like that. There's a game like that now that is way more popular. Like that's more popular, I think. Where it's, I think maybe you have to guess a person or like a celebrity or something, and then they give clues. So it's like the clues start really difficult and get easier. So it's like they were in this movie in 1971, and then later on, it's like they're married to this person, they're etc. But I guess maybe they stole it from Clever Endeavour.
App, your link in chat is very scary, but yes, that is the game.
I put a more informative link. This is a great
Thank you,
website
Alex.
for. This is definitely it. This is what it looks like. And I bought it on a whim just because of the name.
Though, while we are here talking about merch and physical stuff, do you want to talk about the vinyl records?
Sure. Vinyl records. They exist. So we just, well, today the vinyl product page from Debug Records went live. So Debug Records is a partner who's making vinyl records if you have a record player and like collecting them. So I don't know if Jen's dropping it somewhere, but
I'm fishing up the tweet.
so that's pretty cool and exciting. And the tweet is there in the chat.
Yeah, so we are working with Debug. They have made it's a 2 vinyl sleeve. Is that how I don't do vinyls, so
Records.
yeah. But yeah, so there's two-sided vinyls in the package. Of course, the sleeve is illustrated and stuff. Was there anything included in the package with the vinyls? I know we talked about stickers.
Yes, the page says all orders will include a sticker sheet.
Yeah, so the regular stickers, it's a regular like sticker sheet with cutout of the characters, I believe. Yeah, I think it's all the characters.
Yeah, it's all the characters.
And we were trying to get in the sheet music. So we had made sheet music from the UCH main titles for piano, and we had someone write that sheet music, and the plan was to try to get it in there, but in the end, the formatting didn't work, and the timing was like they were already producing the records by the time we got the sheet music. But that is something that's available on their website as well, and I could put a link in there for that.
I already did.
All right. Nice. And someone just asked, are they still making shirts? Yeah, there are still shirts available from. If you go to our website, there's a shop thing, and then the shirts are coming from IndieBox. So we have 2 stores. We have the IndieBox store where they have the shirts that are like screen printed, and those are being sold and shipped by IndieBox. And then we have Spreadshirt, which is like a custom kind of print on demand, and for that you could change the colors and you can do stuff like that. But it's not screen printing. I don't know what the other one is called.
Some sort of digital printing technology.
Yeah, it's like digital print.
Yeah, but that way you can get like kids' clothes or hats or mugs or things.
Yeah, all sorts of fun stuff.
I don't think we have a shirt or merch in general with just the Clever Endeavour logo, because we kind of keep that for people in the studio, I think. I know that some of us have shirts that have it on the back, and I know that it had to be like, I think you printed it on shirts that already were printed with the design on the front, right?
Yeah, it was the first run of shirts that we did, and then we asked for just a specific number of them to have the double side because it was much more expensive. It was like, I don't know, twice the price per shirt or something. But on the Spreadshirt site, we have, which is like the custom one. Nice pin, Fabio. on the Spreadshirt site, which is the custom one, we have the logo, and you can actually press customize and use any of our designs on a shirt. So you could actually make one with the Clever Endeavour logo, I believe.
Yes.
95% sure.
I am doing it now. You could do it if you really, really, really want to.
We just assumed people didn't want that, so to make that.
It's the amount of time between when we figured out what the logo would be and what the logo was I think like 6 hours or something. Once we figured out it would be a ship, the logo got done very fast and has never been updated.
And this is probably the moment where some people in chat realize that the logo is supposed to be a ship,
Yeah.
as happens every time we mention it.
And if you didn't think it was a ship, what did you think it was?
Just the name.
A yacht.
That's close enough. Okay. Okay, we're almost at an hour. It's going fast.
Koshitsu's asking, are you full Canadians or some French is here? Baguette.
Baguette.
I'm Franco-Canadian, so my first language is French. Yeah, everyone else has a different first language. Alex and Rich and Kyler are Canadian, but Anglophone. Fabio is from Brazil.
But now Canadian.
And yeah, now Canadian. And Fabio, I think everyone speaks at least a little French.
Oui.
Oui, oui.
I can barely speak Portuguese, so.
What?
So Fabio just doesn't speak.
What? What?
Fabio just doesn't speak. No Portuguese, no
No.
English, no French.
No,
just-
it's a struggle for me to speak.
Fabio is beyond language.
Yeah.
So another question, Bojack UCH asks, if you make more games in the future, are you looking to make another party game or something of a different style?
If you make more games in the future.
We're done, actually.
I hope we make more games in the future. We're certainly trying to make more games.
Yes.
Um,
We're currently in a prototyping process where we're working on a bunch of different new ideas and trying to find another game to make. And are any of them party games?
Do you want to talk about the process?
Sure.
do you want to talk about the process?
Me? No. You?
I'll describe it a little bit. Our prototyping process currently is we all share ideas. I see Fabio's frozen. Is anyone else
Oh
frozen?
my God, I'm frozen.
I think
Okay,
I'm frozen too.
I'll just wait
Alex
one
is frozen.
moment. Okay, I don't know. Oh, they can hear
I'm
me.
back. I think I'm back.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, I think my computer tried to update something. It's bad computer. To do new prototypes, we all get together and share a bunch of kind of general game ideas, and we pick one that we're going to work on for 2 weeks to try to all together work on it to bring it to like a first version of a playable prototype. And we keep doing that in 2-week sprints where we switch which game we're working on. And at some point, we'll probably go back to previous prototypes that we worked on to try to bring them up to a higher level. And once we have those in a play testable state, we'll play test those and see if we want to continue working on them. So it's been a pretty broad swath of game genres and ideas that we've been working on.
Yeah, we haven't been we haven't specifically been like, okay, we're making our next game. It's going to be a party game. Let's go. It doesn't start like that. It's more like, let's talk about ideas in general, and all of the ideas, including something that's party game, could come up. And then once we have something playable and we want to evaluate it, then maybe the party game thing will come into play. But for now,
of the
that's
ideas
not-
we've made, I think 3 of them have been. How many? I think 3 are multiplayer, and 1 is single player. I think. So there's a mix.
Yeah. Yeah, someone was asking on that note, will UCH beta testers get to test new potential games? I think once we get to the point of deciding, sorry, once we get to the point of deciding what the next game is that we want to make, and we're really like plan to go forward with something, we'll have people test early. We'll try and make sure to do that, but we don't want to do that like in our first little playables, because chances are those are not going to continue after the 2 weeks anyway. So we don't want people to get excited about something and be like, oh yeah, cool, this is going to be their next game, and then we're like, nah, actually something else. So we'll try to get people involved as soon as we can, but we don't know what exactly that means.
Some people are asking about, will there be more UCH updates? In the future, there probably will still be more UCH updates. But right now we're doing prototypes for new things because we've been on UCH for like 5 years. How long is it?
5 years and
Who's counting? Who's counting?
Fabio is 100% UCH wanting to work on it still, which is good.
Okay,
Yes.
the game has been out for 4 years, but the work started on it before that. I think
Day
the
one
Kickstarter.
was September 5th, 2014.
Was that the
but then
game
there was
jam?
a little while.
Yeah. Then there
But there was a little while
there were long gaps of nothing like in between and after that, but that was day one.
Yeah, because after the game jam, Alex and Kyler were still doing full-time work elsewhere.
Do you want to call it also the day we moved into GPS is like the start of it? Because that would be February of 2015.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Like that would be the day where it like became a job.
Did we get paid? I
No.
don't remember.
It's an unpaid job for a long time. Want to grab one from
What
the
else? What else?
What other
else?
questions?
How long do you think UCH will be active?
347 years.
Forever.
Forever.
I mean, it really depends what you mean by active. In terms of like, we're gonna keep the servers up and stuff as long as there's people to play the game.
Yes.
And there's currently actually more people than ever who are playing the game, so it still has some time ahead of it.
We keep being surprised at how the graphs go up about how many people are playing. And the game, I wonder, I don't know if it's designed in such a way that like in 100 years, if you just booted it up, if it would work. I'm pretty sure it would, if you had a computer that could run it.
I say that, but there's plenty of games from like 5 years ago where
Yeah.
that just isn't true.
Hopefully we can make it work forever.
Windows 10. Once Windows like 640 comes out, then
I mean, do you remember what happened with Halo 2? It was made to work with and only with Windows Vista.
oh wow.
Yeah, they were trying to force people to migrate from XP. So they think, oh, it would run on XP. You could like hack it to make it work, but by default, it's like, no, it doesn't work on XP. Got to get Vista. But it didn't work on anything after Vista.
That's a huge fail.
Yes. All this to say, don't ever plan for the future in computing. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Someone just asked, K-Dodge asked about, are you going to make a lobby AFK kickout system? So we don't have an automatic kickout system, but we did add a system to detect lobbies that have been AFK for 10 minutes. And those lobbies get the AFK tag in the, I think it's like match progress column. It says AFK. And I think that they appear like at the very bottom of the list.
I remember
They look faded, and you can still technically join them, but they look like the games that are in progress or other games.
Yeah, so we added that with Acrobatic.
We might get Ultimate Chicken Horse music in a second. I have not seen that feature actually work. I remember it coding it, or like us working on it, but I don't remember seeing it.
I know that.
I made it work. You know, after I did it, I just sat there for 10 minutes and I watched it happen.
The thing is that there have been so many lobbies lately there's like multiple pages of them, so you would probably have to go out of your way to find the AFK lobbies now, which is good.
Cool. Someone asked, I think this question's been coming up a lot. So, Markcast 2021 asks, whoops, what are the chances we could get a slap feature to knock other players around to be used in conjunction with collisions being turned on? We would make it so people could battle their way to the finish. I think that is an extremely low probability feature for our game.
I think so too.
Our engine was like our whole game was designed on the premise that characters couldn't interact, which is part of the reason why we were able to make it multiplayer and be an indie team. Whereas like getting player collisions and fighting game features in online games is quite difficult and takes kind of like a custom engine almost. Like we know that people at Double Stallion who made Speed Brawl, which is a multiplayer fighting game that has collisions between everything, that they had to write all their own network code for that. So
Yeah, and the team making King of the Hat has done a really, really good job at it, but they're doing like a very twitchy, like timing-based fighting game, almost Smash Bros-ish, that's online, and that's been a major challenge of theirs.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing, and I think that also goes for people are asking about modding, if that's going to come to UCH. Modding and that kind of netcode thing, it's not really something that you can add to a game after the fact. The game is structured around its existing code, and we would have to redo the entire game to add those things to it. So it's almost certainly not going to happen in Ultimate Chicken Horse. It's the kind of thing that, especially modding, is the kind of thing that we would keep in mind if we're making another game that is, a multiplayer party game or a game that has social sharing features and user-generated content and whatever. It's the kind of thing that we would probably keep in mind earlier now with the next project to integrate those things, very early on, so that it fits with the game's architecture and stuff like that. So we definitely learned from that, and it's something that we can take with us, but it's not something that we can add on to UCH.
Yep.
Yeah, one of the things with this game in general was that it was very small to start, and then we expanded it and then expanded it and expanded it, and we're adding on to it. But it wasn't like a week into development we're like, okay, here's all the features it's going to have in 3 years. It was really like we played it, we tested it, and then people were asking for different or more features, and we're like, oh, that's actually a good idea. That wasn't initially in the scope, because the initial scope was planned to be, it was just a game jam, and then after that it was planned to just be shown off at a little thing, and then it kept being just a small game and then getting bigger and bigger. And so because it was built kind of stuff stacked on top of stuff, it's hard to do those kind of things. But
Who asked this question?
Sorry,
Bojack,
I'm
another
sorry.
one.
I have to address this. Not Too Lazy in chat said Fabio looks smug. Not gonna lie, I think it's hilarious because Fabio is the least smug person.
What smug means? What is smug?
They think you look how I act.
I don't even know the definition.
how do you define smug? Like,
I'm kind of detached, maybe a little superior.
yeah, it's kind of cocky.
Feeling better than other people, or like satisfied that you're better than other people.
I don't feel like that. I
No.
I know. Oh, it's because I'm doing this. Maybe
Yes, that is why.
It's
the
probably
hand on the chin.
a philosopher.
Camp.
Okay, a lot of big YouTubers have posted videos of your game. Markiplier, PewDiePie, Donkey, who was the biggest surprise and whose content did you enjoy the most?
These people played our game.
Yeah?
Yes.
It was. I think some of it was before you joined the team, Fabio. The
Yeah,
market.
probably. So most of those Markiplier and Pewdie, that must have been right after the game came out, and those people don't normally come back to games.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think.
Go ahead, Jen.
Well, I was gonna say, first of all, that was before I joined, but also I think that what I am most surprised about is the people who are still playing Ultimate Chicken Horse regularly.
Yeah.
So I know that Achievement Hunter is still playing somewhat regularly. It's still on the Northern Lion Live Super Show once in a while. Not nearly as much as they used to, but they played it just so much in I think it was like 2017. They played it just an impossible amount. But yeah, I think that
is
is
probably our longest running series.
Stumped.
Was it
Yeah.
Stumped? Yeah.
Yeah, Stumped.
Basically from the start, and they had their last one was 4 days ago.
They were our like most
First evangelists.
first evangelist and most like playtester YouTubers, because they would like look at the new stuff and then describe it, and like I'd get so much good feedback from what they said.
Oh, you know one that surprised me, but also kind of makes sense, all things considered. The one that was a nice surprise was when Day9 played it. Because Day9 is a friend of Lee and Sean Bouchard, who are on his Mostly Walking show. And Mostly Walking is not about multiplayer games. They usually just play old point-and-click adventure games. But they had a party night and they played Ultimate Chicken Horse, and that was really fun and really interesting. Very different crowd. They're basically three nerds who are really, really into game design, so it was really different to see. There was just like, decorticating. Is that a word in English? Anyway, they were really, going deep into the design of the game as they were playing. So it was really cool.
Yeah, I think for me, my favorite would probably be Stumped, just in terms of entertainment value. Like, I found them the most entertaining. I also like that they kind of grew with us. So the game was not really discovered, and they had something like, I don't know, it was 10 or 15,000 subscribers. And then 6 months or something after the game launched, they were up to 100,000 subscribers. And now I think they're above that. And they like, they were at a position where they were like kind of looking for content, but they were really good, and we were giving content, and now they're at the point where they're more taking, I'm sure they're, like taking payments for ads for games and things like that. But at the time when we started, they probably weren't big enough for that, like to be doing that kind of thing. So I find that very cool. I should note also, I think the YouTuber stuff started largely in part because of Wade, who's Lord Minion 777. And I don't know if he goes by Wade something. I think he changed his kind of thing, but it used to be Lord Minion. Anyway, so that he's friends with that whole crew, PewDiePie, Markiplier, that Jacksepticeye, all of them. And so he played the game at PAX South and really liked it. And then we hung out with him afterwards after PAX South around like a dinner cocktail thing. And he was just like introducing all of his friends to us and so on. And I think he is the one who got it in the hands of some of those people. And so while his videos were, he was big, but not nearly as big as those ones. I think that was really like the kickoff point.
Yeah, and I think we should also mention, like, there's a bunch of huge content creators in languages that we just don't speak, so we're not as able to keep track. But I know that there's big, big content creators in like Germany and Poland and the Czech Republic. I think there's a few in Asia, and Latin America. There's a lot of what is the name of that content creator you follow who played the game?
Jovem Nerd.
Yeah, so that was
super nice.
That was funny. Fabio one day was like, "Oh my god, this person who had been following for years has played Ultimate Chicken Horse recently."
That was a surreal moment. I listened to their podcast almost for 10 years now. And when I saw them playing the game, I was like, what the hell? They're playing Chicken Horse. This is so nice.
So good.
Yeah, someone named Mike Crack. I think they're it looks like a Spanish language YouTuber. They now have the highest view count for an Ultimate Chicken Horse video, and it happened last month or 2 months ago.
Oh wow.
And like they beat all the other big ones. Like they beat Markiplier and Jacksepticeye for view counts.
Yeah. Every time I look at YouTube and search for people that play Ultimate Chicken Horse, I feel like there's new gigantic people who I've never heard of because they don't speak any language I speak.
Yeah.
It's such a big world. There are so many content creators nowadays.
Always localize your video games when you make them.
Yeah, that's always a plus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, questions.
You guys want to do a couple more and then wrap it up?
Okay.
Not that I had ones in mind. I just
I mean, someone asked earlier, asked earlier who does what, which maybe we should have started with, actually.
That would be a good
I
idea.
don't know if we want to do a
Let's
quick
do it.
round table of who's who. Alex,
What do you
who
do?
are you?
So, I'm one of the co-founders and the programmer on the team.
Yep.
Fabio?
Next.
I draw.
That's just the job
And
title.
animate.
I animate.
What else do you do, Fabio? Mostly drawing and animating and
Yeah.
helping design levels.
Trailers.
Trailer
So-
work.
All the
Trailer
trailer
work.
work.
Important
Trailer.
all the
Trailer.
trailers.
If you see with your eyes, I probably did it.
Yeah.
All right. There's something of my work there.
What do you do, Jen?
I do community management and I do quality assurance, and I'm moving to doing more production. So, project management, making sure that we keep track of who's doing what, when, that things get noted down, and that we know where we're at in projects.
Sweet. What do you do, Richard?
I do all the other stuff. So anything that doesn't fall directly into game development. So anything that's like business, accounting, legal, finance, people management, HR, whatever, all that stuff is, I mean, I don't do that alone. I get help from different people depending on the thing, but that's kind of my responsibility. And I like being involved in the design side of things. So when there's design discussions and so on, I try to get myself involved. And for the prototypes, I've been doing some design work and I guess on occasion some art-ish work, like temp art, I guess you could say. So that is what I do.
And Richard is also one of the co-founders.
Yes. What do you do, Kyler?
I'm another of the co-founders, and I started doing, I started in the company mostly doing art, but then I did more and more programming and game design stuff. And now I feel like I mostly figure out the art pipeline, like figure out how to get the art into the game, and then I'll hand that off to Fabio to actually do more of the art. That's probably how it'll go. And
You have to say that you draw the game.
I
you
did
made
draw
the
the
entire
initial Ultimate Chicken
Yeah.
Horse art.
Yeah, so the stuff you see in the game now, some of the stuff has been drawn by Fabio in terms of backgrounds and characters and blocks,
Yeah,
but
it's
some of it
probably
was also
it's probably about half now, I bet.
Yeah.
Nah. I think it's no.
No?
You did more. Yeah.
I don't know. But you did all the outfits. Like, if we counted frames, you did a lot of frames now.
at the second.
Oh,
It's like,
I think I have more frames than you.
You
now.
probably have more frames.
Yeah, but we have almost all the levels, for example.
Yeah.
All the characters almost.
And some people have been asking about Ben, who recently left the team. He was a programmer, and he did lots of very useful programming for us. And
he was like kind of in charge of the modifiers thing.
yeah, That was a big thing.
Actually, he just decided. We were like, "Who wants to put new stuff in the game?" And he's like, "I'm going to make all these modifiers," and we were kind of like, "That might be really long and difficult." He's like, "I'm just going to do it. Give me 2 weeks."
Yeah.
And then he just like mocked up all these crazy modifiers quickly. So yeah, he did more programming stuff.
We haven't heard from him recently, but he's probably still in quarantine. He was probably one of the first who wanted to go get safe away from coronavirus, and yeah,
That's not why he left.
that's not why he left, but that is where I imagine he is.
But yeah, he wanted to move on to other things, and so that was it. So help him transition out, and yeah, and he did very good work with us. So we're very happy that he was part of the team.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Kate Dodge is asking in chat, is Corona helping production? Heck no.
It's programming with us.
So absolutely not. Yeah, so the whole Corona thing, and I guess I want to talk about it a little bit just because there is definitely this idea, maybe this culture, that because it's possible to do our job from home, that we should have exactly as much productivity as we used to have before. But the reality is that, we are not a team who used to work from home. So this is all new to us. We have to adapt to a lot of things. And just in general, even in the best of conditions, there is a global pandemic right now. So it's easy to be distracted by other things. It's easy to have, your thoughts wander to other things that are sapping your productivity. So I don't think that we are as productive as before Corona, and I would not ever expect us to be. I think it would be unhealthy to try to reach the same amount of productivity as before. And yeah, lots of us have children at this point. So Ben had a kid, Fabio has a kid, Kyler has a kid.
Yeah.
And they're all, from the past year. So they're young children who need a lot of attention, who make noise, who will not be told to be quiet.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that from reading about things that are more geared towards like managing people from afar, one of the biggest things was don't expect people to be as productive. Just like be aware that productivity will be less than it was, and that's okay. Just plan accordingly. So don't expect, if you have strict amounts of work that has to be done every week, like don't expect that's going to happen. Otherwise, you're just going to end up everybody's going to end up annoyed because no one is doing the work that they're being given. So yeah, we're not expecting it to be, hugely productive, but I think we're still, this is personal opinion, I think we're still doing a good job of having some of that creative discussion, even if it is over video and chat. But the stuff that usually we would be like, okay, let's go grab a room and like draw stuff on a whiteboard. I think we're getting some of that.
We never did that, but
there have been like 3 whiteboard drawings in the history of Clever Endeavour.
Fair enough. I guess I would expect more of those now, given that we're in this kind of brainstormy, very designy phase. But I think we've done a good job with that.
And we're finding lots of new tools to collaborate online that are good.
yeah.
Someone
Tools, someone was asking.
Yeah,
We're using going there. Yeah.
Google Meet instead of Zoom. How's the quality in the stream? Fine.
Looks okay to me.
Yeah.
Af asked, what does the Clever Endeavour Games headquarters look like? Obviously, right now we can't show it, but I just linked in the chat to, we actually did a vlog where we showed gameplay space and our corner of gameplay space where we are. So you can check that out if you would like.
Yes.
And it's probably still there.
Probably.
I wouldn't know. I've been there in a month, but I would
can
imagine that it's still there.
I can try remoting into my computer, see if it still works.
Right now, the office looks a lot like my home.
Cool.
Are we proud of our game? I am.
No, come on.
You're not
So
proud?
ashamed. Oh my god. Oh my god. No.
I would say I'm definitely proud of our game, and I'm equally proud of the community that has been able to keep it alive, because the game came out and was not anything like what it is now, and that has only happened thanks to people liking it and playing it and sharing it, and
Yeah.
that, yeah. And so we've taken a lot of input, like creative input from the community, but also it is our lifeblood. So thanks to you guys, we're able to do what we want to be doing. So yeah, that's my answer.
Is that good? I think one more question. Whoever types it in next gets the question. It
That
better.
is very risky. You don't do that.
Well, we
late.
reserve the right to
Come on, question.
answer it.
Come on, question.
What's your home address?
Background blocks when? Background blocks when? Not soon.
Probably not soon. It's a thing that had been talked about at one point, but it's certainly not high on the priority list.
The tricky thing is that all of the blocks we have now, you select them by like clicking on the part of them that's solid, whereas background blocks would get in the, like, you wouldn't want them to get in the way of other building stuff, so we'd have to rework our whole placement and selection and that system. We'd have to really think about it a lot.
Yeah, it's another one of those things where, like, if we make either a sequel or another game that has those same elements, then we would early on think about,
Figure it out.
people
Yeah.
are going to want to customize the background, but it's probably not going to be added to UCH. Yeah, because it's a lot more complicated than you would expect.
Probably same goes for UCH RPG.
Yes. Like everything is more complicated than you expect. It's like adding a hoverboard for Snake, more complicated than you expect.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was actually some back and forth with audio, and someone asked earlier how we made the main theme be so good. The answer is we work with Vibe Avenue. Vibe Avenue has been doing all of the music and audio, and they are just excellent. They are really, really good. And yeah, they made custom sound for the hoverboard. So that it doesn't sound the same way as the regular skateboard. And I think actually, like when the first time that they made a voice that was specific to a reskin, I don't think we had asked for it. I think it was regular, like Nut Robot Bunny. They removed the robot from the voice, so that it would make more sense, and that we made that work in the game. That's a cool attention to detail from them, that they know enough about the game itself and what's good in the game to have those ideas and think about that when it comes up.
Yeah, they've also kind of grown with us. Like when we started the game and had audio, they were like a newish indie audio team who was, I think they were either just the two founders, Matt and FX, or they might have been one other employee, and now they're
It was just Matt and FX, but they very quickly got someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then now they're like 20, 25, something like that.
They're also just like in a room in UCAM.
Yeah, they were just in a room at their university they taught at.
Yeah. Very cool team though.
That might be our luckiest, like, early connection was them being like, "Oh, we'll do your sound for your Kickstarter." That was very
true.
good, very early on. Okay.
Shall we wrap up?
Yes. Well, thank you everybody for coming to watch, and hope you have fun with Ultimate Chicken Horse, and hope you're staying safe, and have a good quarantine for as long as this goes on.
Best quarantine wishes.
Best
to all.
quarantine
Bye,
ever.
Thank you guys all. You're all awesome. And we will see you soon.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
And then we're going to be waiting forever until.
Should I press the
Skylar
stop
turns it
button?
off. Probably, yes.
Probably.